Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for Valley News Live at 5:30. We have a warning tonight from a Moorhead dad following a scary situation. His daughter was hit by a car when she was walking home from school. He shared the video and his story with me to remind drivers to slow down. Most kids walk to catch the school bus in the morning. Max Israel drives his.
Even if you live in a safe neighborhood, it's not really safe.
Even though they only live a block away.
Anything can happen.
His 12-year-old daughter Grace was crossing the street when she was hit by a car, and a neighbor's Ring doorbell caught it on video. You can see Grace and her sister Joella get off the bus and make their way down the sidewalk. Joella runs across the street first, and when Grace goes to follow her, the car coming through the intersection isn't able to stop in time.
Joella, the 5th grader, ran home and she saw it, and she said, "Mama, mommy, come. Grace got hit by a car."
Grace quickly gets up, grabs her backpack, and runs to the sidewalk. Then the driver stops to ask if she's okay. And you can hear Grace yell back. Israel was at work at the time.
When I get that phone call, I got that video, I was really angry. It looked like people saw the accident and nobody really wanted to get involved.
Israel says Grace has autism, and he's talked to her about looking both ways before crossing the road. Police are investigating, and the driver hasn't been cited, but Israel wants someone to be held accountable.
Slow down anytime. They are driving our neighborhood.
Grace went to the doctor, and she's doing fine. But every time Israel sees this video,
at first I cry, and second, I look at that as a miracle of God.
he knows it could have been so much worse.